Alright, YouTube. In this video, I want to talk about the main thing that makes people fail when it comes to working out or working a physical job or anything that's physical. Especially if there's a big reward at the end. Because if there's a big reward at the end, you usually push harder. Like, let's say you're working and you're doing overtime. A big reward at the end is you're going to have more money, right? Let's say you're working out and you're trying to build muscle. The big reward at the end is your muscles are going to be bigger, losing weight, dieting, whatever. The big reward is you're going to have the results that you're trying to get, but you're also trying not to get injured. And that's not what we're talking about in this video, because that's a whole nother video. I've covered that topic a million times. But what haven't I covered enough? Fatigue. All right? I know a lot of people are going to celebrate their holiday season. I don't celebrate. But I always tell people, if you do celebrate, you can still start your diet and your workout journey now and just use your holidays for cheat days, all right? The earlier you start, the quicker you will be able to understand where you are when it comes to this fitness thing. A lot of people wait into New Year's and they burn out as soon as it starts. Why? Because they bite off more than they can chew. Imagine it like a big sandwich, right? Your goal is this big sandwich, and you want to bite the whole sandwich at once. Meaning, okay, let's say you got 100 pounds to lose. You want to lose it as fast as possible. You're biting the whole sandwich. What's going to happen when you bite a whole sandwich? A bigger bite than you can chew. You're going to choke, right? That's why almost everybody chokes on their New Year's resolution, right? Because they wait and then they hurry. Same thing in the gym, all that. Because the same thing when it comes to dieting, same thing when it comes to lifting weights, and the same thing when it comes to cardio. You know what I'm saying? People go from doing 0 to 100 real quick. All right. So me, myself, even though I know these things that I'm about to teach you, life and lifting reminds me the hard way a lot, because sometimes when I get cocky, I get hard-headed. When I get to feeling myself, I get hard-headed. I forget to pull back a little bit. So one thing that I never want to do in lifting is fail. I do not want to put an amount of weight on the bar and fail. Now, sometimes, for some reasons, failing now, I'm not trying to sound cocky or better than nobody when I say that. I'm saying that to say this. When I'm failing, like last time I failed at 305 pounds on the bench press, right? I'm using my last fail for example. I pushed so hard to try to get it and I couldn't get it. If I would have broke form and did what a lot of people do and got it up like that, I could have got it off me. But I don't bench like that because, for one, that doesn't count. But more importantly, I don't do that because you're more prone to get injured, especially with heavier weight, right? But that's not even the point I'm trying to make. My CNS, central nervous system, a burnout, right? Once you get to the point where you're overtraining or you're burning your CNS, you're going to be weaker. Temporarily, unless you get injured, but temporarily. But if you want longevity, if you ever want to push some crazy weight, especially as a natural, you have to have a strategy, right? See, people that's not natural, they're putting things inside of their body, roids and stuff, and that stuff is aiding them to where they don't have to have, and they still have to have work ethic and they still have to have a strategy and a plan, but it doesn't have to be the same as somebody who doesn't have that aiding them. All right. So what I'm doing with my bench press, my squat, and my deadlift, I'm bringing my numbers all the way back down. Not all the way back down to 0. I'm doing 80% of the heaviest that I've done. All right. This is math-based fitness. 80% of that 300 I just did with my last video. I did 240 on the bench. And I was going for 10 reps. I ended up getting 7, but I was cool with that. I was like, man, whatever I get, this is the first day of me doing this volume hypertrophy training instead of heavy strength training with lower reps, right? So what I'm gonna do is every time I go in there and bench press, I'm gonna add 5 pounds. And yes, eventually it's going to get less reps as the weight gets heavier, but I'm progress. I'm getting that hypertrophy, that endurance, and I'm giving my muscles a rest from going so heavy. But I am trying to get the equivalent, right? So I wanted to get the equivalent of a 315 bench with that 240, meaning I use my rep calculator, right? And that's a math a guesstimation, an estimation, guesstimation, equation, whatever you want to call it. I would have had to do 10 reps, and I end up doing 7. I thought I did 8, which would have been the equivalent of 299, which is 300, pretty much the same weight that I already done before. I failed at 305 the other day, which I should have been able to do, but I was fatigued because I've been doing overtime and work. All this combines together, right? And no, there's not excuses. It's knowing what caused what so you can get around and figure out how to get around it, all right? Using math, all right? So, back to what I'm saying, because I know somebody gonna say, oh, you just, no, that's not what I'm doing. If you want to get good at this, you have to figure out your sticking points. You gotta understand your strengths, and you gotta understand your weaknesses. And we're gonna have all of that. This ain't Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? Even on that, there's strengths and weaknesses, all right? So don't go in there thinking you the Hulk or you're going to get stronger every time you get mad or something, or you Broly and you're going to adjust as you go. It doesn't work like that in the real world. This is Earth. This is not a cartoon, all right? So, and for those who wasn't saying that, if it don't apply, let it fly, because I'm just saying 99.9% of people will hear me say something like I'm saying. So let me stay on track, all right? I'm doing that so I can give myself a break in my CNS, my central nervous system, a break, even though I'm still using it. Because you use it or lose it, right? You got to stay in the zone. You use it or lose it. Yes, you got to have rest days and things like that. So after my next rest day, I want to put my squat first, bench press next, and deadlift. And what I'm going to do with each lift is I just had a bench press only workout today, this morning, right? So I'm going to have a bench press only workout, squat only workout the next day, deadlift only, meaning I'm not doing anything else after I do that, right? People will look at my videos and say, that's what you've been doing anyways. No, sometimes I don't show my whole workout. I do accessories after those main lifts. I do my curls, I do my tricep push downs, I do my overhead press, I do my leg extensions, leg curls, and back movements, rolls and pull-ups. And some things I'm doing more than others, and some things are getting neglected. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna pay attention, I'm gonna write down on the list. This is kind of a rough draft right now, and I'm doing it on video so I can watch it back later myself and come up with my list. Because things when I'm coming up with my list of things I'm gonna forget, so I'm gonna have to watch this video again, right? Myself. So as I'm teaching you, I'm teaching myself, right? So I'm gonna write down priorities of which things that I'm neglecting the most. And on that 4th day, so squat, bench, deadlift. And that 4th day, I'm gonna do full body accessories, but prioritizing whichever thing is lacking the most, right? And then I'm gonna switch it around that 4th day, and then I'm gonna have a day off, and then I'm gonna repeat. It's not gonna be a Sunday, Monday, Sunday this, Monday bench. No, it's gonna be 4 days in a row. Squat, bench, deadlift, everything else. Day off. Squat, bench, deadlift, everything else. Day off. Squat, bench, deadlift, everything else. Day off. And every time I squat, I'm gonna add 10 pounds. I'm gonna take 80% away from my squat, right? From what I did last time. I forget the number. I did squat the other day, so I gotta rewatch my videos, right? So I can see where I'm at. But what I'm gonna do is every time I squat, I'm gonna add 10 pounds. Bench press, I'm gonna add 5 pounds. Squat, I'm gonna add 10 pounds. Deadlift is my strongest lift, so every time I deadlift, I'm gonna take 80% of what I did heaviest, and then every time I deadlift, I'm at 15 pounds. The deadlift's my strongest lift, so I might as well do 15. And I want to get back to that heaviest lift. So I did the math, and I'm only gonna be deadlifting like 300 and late 300 and something pounds, and that's too light. I don't want to do that, but I have to. It's a necessary thing that I got to do. All right. So that's the plan, and I'm gonna acclimate back up to those heavier lifts, and then by the time I get to those heavier lifts, I should be able to hit a PR, meaning personal record. Hopefully my bench press, well, I got set numbers for my bench press. Even if I can't hit my old PR, I'm not going to hit it until I hit these other set markers first. I'm not skipping scenes. I'm not jumping the gun. This is not a show-off thing. This is an actual working thing. You got to actually strategically build your strength. It ain't about going in the gym testing your strength all the time. So for New Year's people, a lot of people go in the gym, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to go crazy. And then they can't do anything anymore. Because either they got injured, they got fatigued, they're not pacing themselves. You know what I'm saying? People want to lose weight as fast as they can. They're not pacing themselves. And they wonder why years, decades, they're trying to lose weight and they're not being able to do it because you're not pacing. Think about it. Every time you fail your workout, why did you fail your workout? Why did you stop? Man, it was too hard. I couldn't do that. That means you just said it. Too hard. You just answered it yourself. If you ever said that before, you answered it yourself. You went too hard. Most likely, a lot of people lift a lot of weight without even learning how to properly lift the weight first. Injury and or fatigue. Over fatigue. Burnout. Just like, okay, let's say you got money problems and you going to work all the time. Now, you tired from doing your overtime. Now you missing days or being late on the days you were scheduled. Happens all the time. Burnout. You gotta slowly ramp yourself up. I used to get like 70 hours a week back in the days. Now I'm doing overtime and I'm getting mid-50s. Probably gonna work my way up to my 60s. I'll be cool with that. But if I do that on a consistent basis, I would end up with way more money than if I was trying to do that 70, burn out, miss days. You know, my next check gonna be, this check gonna be huge, that check gonna be small, and I'm burning out. If I'm always in the gym trying to hit maxes, I'm burning out. It's fun while it lasts, don't get me wrong. If I'm hitting nothing but PRs and my deadlift going up, my bench going up, my squat going up crazy, and remember, I'm natural. I don't have that stuff in me to help me out. Which also, that's a problem because at the end of the day, those people, they're in danger too because people that's on roids, they got that stuff in them. It helps them out. They get stronger, their muscles get bigger, everything grows. Organs are all effed up. That's a whole nother video. But I'm talking about the tendons and the joints. They're not getting as strong as the muscles are as fast. That's why a lot of people that's on that stuff, they get too strong for their tendons and joints and they get injured. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like a cardio, all right? A lot of people want to start running. They ain't walked or ran in years. A lot of people are too overweight, no disrespect. A lot of people are too overweight to start running anyways. I forget the math equation, but every time you pound your feet on the ground when you're running, multiple times of your whole body weight, pounds of pressure are on your joints, especially your knees. It'll blow your knees out. There's been people who ain't ran in decades. They get motivated. They want to start running. Walk first. Power walk. Jog. Then keep doing just that. Step by step. And then work on your time or how far you go, your distance. If I had a lot of weight to lose, I would lose a bunch of weight before I start running, if I start running. There's a lot of people, I barely even run. That's why my whole cardio session, my main cardio thing is walk and talk cardio. Type that in, walk and talk cardio. I guarantee you will see me on there. And some other people who stole my idea. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Hey, But what is it? Copying somebody is the biggest form of flattery, man. So hey, salute to the people that stole my idea. But don't be stealing my ideas because you ain't gonna be able to do it as good. I'm gonna put you to shame. You know what I'm saying? And I've done that before. But I don't be wanting to do stuff like that. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't take my stuff. Math-based fitness, that's mine. Science-based is done. They better run. Yo, so that's the plan. Rough draft. Of course, I'm gonna make better videos about it as it goes. You stay tuned. Don't wait until New Year's. Math-based fitness, Reppin time fitness. Make sure you avoid fatigue. All right. There's a time and a place. Yes, you gotta work out until you're tired and work out hard and all that. But there's a time and a place for that. And as a beginner, you're not at the time or the place for that. Keep your training wheels on until it's time to take them off. And that's no disrespect. I'm trying to help you. Oh, that's another thing I meant to say as soon as I cut on this camera, right? So I'm going to end it with this, right? People, I don't understand. Why do almost everybody, men, women, old, young, it don't matter what walk of life or nothing, none of that. Why does almost everybody get offended when you try to give them a helping word? I don't understand that. Watch my playlist. And watch my top 10 misconceptions about weight loss. If you've been trying to lose weight and you have it, that means you have misconceptions about weight loss. That we are human. I'm messing up on my words right there. I'm not editing that out. We're human. It's okay to be wrong sometimes, but if you want success, you got to figure out where you're wrong and come up with a plan. Watch that video and take notes and ask me questions. Also, don't wait until New Year's. Watch my New Year's playlist, and if you do wait until New Year's, at least you can take notes and have a plan. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Holla back at your boy. Reppin time fitness, math-based fitness. Yeah, peace.